All right, very good. You should see the little red dot, and we are recording. But keep inviting your friends because they're going to see the alert and they're going to come on here and they're going to be able to look at this recording later. I am going to share my screen if I remember how to do that, and then we can get started. And thank goodness there is no audio this time, you guys. So I don't have to worry about any of that weird, the weirdness. Okay. Can you please confirm that you see a PowerPoint?
I definitely do.
Ah, hallelujah. Okay. Wonderful. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and then I will hand off to different members of the team as we're going through all of this. But this is really casual, and we're so excited to be telling you about this today because we've been working on this, and it's been in development for better part of a year, and it's going live today. It's going to be life-changing. So buckle up, hang on, here we go. Welcome to everyone. If you are not aware or familiar with BridgeDeFi, we're glad you're here. You found a good, safe place, and we hope that you are going to stick around with us for a very long time. We are a company that was developed by 7 different people who have varying degrees of experience with crypto and real world business and all of that. And we wanted to create a company that bridges the gap between the real world and decentralized finance. And so that's how BridgeDeFi was really created and came to fruition. We have well, here, I'm going to hand over to Malcolm Dare. He is our managing director, and I'll just have him explain a little bit of why we chose to go with NFTs, and then give you a little bit of a background on the different platforms that we have current and the one that we are going to be launching today. So, Malcolm?
Hi. So I
Hi.
think that's a bit of an echo there. So, but yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for that introduction, Zebs. And yeah, just a quick little one. I don't want to spend too much time on the Bridge DeFi part of things, but we chose at the end of the day to only have NFTs for a very simple reason that NFTs provide exactly what we need to do. And you'll see from the product that we're providing today is why an NFT is actually the ideal vehicle for what we're wanting to do. And the NFTs, they're a token like any other token, but because they're unique, we can set a set of unique attributes to them that allow that NFT to give very specific products or features to it. And the fact that they're transparent and they're secure, you can see where they are. There's minimal risk, and the functionality of them is, as I mentioned, is the reason why we chose NFTs at the end of the day, and rather than going with a token. With an NFT, it's the uniqueness of the NFT that gives it a special attributes, and having that unique ability allows us to do things that we're doing with this particular product that we're going to show you, and new products that we're going to be bringing down the line in the BridgeGrow platform. So, do you want me to go on with this, Sebs, or you're going
Yeah,
to?
just let them know, just in case we've got some newer people that are coming in here. Just tell them a little bit about the different products and services, the one that we already have launched, and then we'll get into BridgeGrow, which is launching today.
Yeah. So, yeah, we've launched our first product or platform, BridgeDeck, which has been launched already, and we're very excited as we've got 6 great projects up already with some new ones that we're going to be launching soon, and getting that going. So that's our first platform we've launched. And then we've got 2 other platforms, BridgeGive and BridgeProp, that we'll be launching soon. BridgeGive is, just very quickly, it's really a platform for charities, where people can raise money for charities, and that we're working on. And then BridgeProp will be our next one we'll launch after BridgeGrow, and that's all to do with giving people the opportunity to invest in property with fractionalizing our NFTs, or fractionalize portion of owning the properties. But the big one that we're launching today is BridgeGrow. Our first product is going to be on BridgeGrow, and the whole idea behind BridgeGrow is it's a means of giving people an opportunity to invest in something, and it could be an investment that you want to do for your kids' future. It could be an investment for, your retirement, or if you look trying to build a goal for buying a house, something. So we want to give a means where people can invest something. It's a set and forget type scenario, where you can say, right, I'm going to put a certain amount into this, and we're going to create investments that will give you good returns. So some of them will be, they'll all have not too high a risk, but some will have higher or less risk depending on the products that we're bringing out. But generally, there'll always be a reasonable risk element to them. And the whole idea is to give people financial freedom and also the ability to be able to do things that you wouldn't normally be able to do. And I think that you're going to see in the product that we're doing this evening and when we tell you about it, because it's called TradeFi, the product that we're doing. And when we start talking about it and getting more into it, the one thing is that a lot of people try and get into, whether it be trading or property investment, or whatever it is, and they don't really have the expertise to do it. And I see here that there's some traders, and one trader I know who will back me up on this, is that trading is not easy, and it's something that you really need to know before you dive into. So we want to be able to give people in BridgeGrow the opportunity to invest in all these amazing things, get those amazing returns at the end of the day from our products that we're going to do. So BridgeGrow is an investment platform for people to invest in different areas of the marketing world, or investment world, and whether it be trading or other types of investment. So I think
Perfect.
that's a quick
That
rundown.
covers it. Yeah. No, thank you. So BridgeGrow, as Malcolm just mentioned, is that kind of second platform, and we really designed this to help people grow their investment. There's a lot going on right now in the economic world, and we wanted something that would be economy proof, for lack of a better statement, but something that could give a reasonable return on your investment over a period of time. And this isn't designed for somebody to get in at launch and make a killing in the first 24 hours or whatever. This is really designed to have a good return on investment over a longer period of time. And those achievable milestones is really what got us thinking about this. So if people want to save up for a down payment on a house and they'd like to have that in 5 years, or you have the birth of a child and you want to save up for college investments, or maybe you've got a daughter who started dating a guy and they're talking wedding bells and stuff, and you're like, how in the heck am I going to pay for this wedding with 3 costume changes and 500 people? This is kind of where BridgeGrow was developed. And so our first NFT that we're going to be offering on BridgeGrow really has to do with trading. And that was kind of the first direction that we were going to go with BridgeGrow. So do you want to talk about why we chose to go through the trading route, and why we're choosing crypto trading to get us started with, and what that means, and the financial growth that we expect to see from that?
Yeah, I think with the reason why we've gone with trading, I think it's something that, if done properly, can give very good returns. And one thing that I've learned, I've spent quite a lot of time learning about trading, and in the year and a half of actually studying trading, and the year that I did learning trading, I realized how complex
Oh, yeah.
it is, and but also I realized how you can get good returns if you know what you're doing,
Yes.
and going out and having the right mindset as well. And I see Tony's here, and he could talk to this. That if you want to get into the trading world, and especially into crypto trading, where there's a very volatile market, and you get really excited about the trades that you're getting into, and if you don't have the right mindset, if you don't know how not to lose money, if you don't know when to get out, you don't know when to take profits, you don't have greed behind you, or if you you don't want any greed. Basically, if you have any greed while you're trading, you're going to fail. So you really need to have somebody who has the right mindset, traders who have the ability to obviously read the markets, but trade professionally and securely. That you generally, I think about 90% of traders fail at the end of the day. But those who are good and who do a good job do extremely well. So what we wanted to do was find somebody who could trade, or a group of traders who could trade for us and do who were professionals, responsible in doing, and so that your average person could go out there and take advantage of what you can get from trading. So you can get very good returns. You can get monthly returns, as you've written there, are very high, and you can grow your wealth over a period of time. And the big thing about trading is to be able to start at a low base and then build yourself up to a point where you've got a large pool of funds. And so we just looked at it and said, look, we've got to work with people who know what they're doing. We've got to work with traders who understand what they're doing. And in this first product, we've gone specifically for crypto trading. I think at the moment it's a good market to trade in, and the guys who know what coins to trade and how to do that. So we decided to come up with a product that people could take advantage of trading, but have absolutely no experience in trading. Basically, using those professionals.
And just to build on that a little bit, one of the great things that we kind of pride ourselves at BridgeDeFi is we do have a very well-diverse team, and they have a lot of connections and friends in the space. And so we know people who are experienced traders. These are people who have 15 years of crypto trading, which is really unheard of, kind of. And you've known some of them, especially one of the traders that we're starting off with here, for 2 to 3 years, and they're reputable, and they
He's
are
been my mentor,
just,
by the way.
mentor, just stand up
And
individuals.
taught me how to trade. Not that I would
Exactly.
trade for other people, but his knowledge is exemplary, and he's trading.
Oh
He's
yeah.
trading things, which
And
is great.
they have these incredible, just super successful track records. And we didn't decide to create a contract with this guy off of a whim. Like, we've been talking with them about this for, since last summer. And Malcolm has been working very closely with him and looking at just the state of the market and where things have gone. And when there's vast plummets and all this stuff, he's still showing us, no, you can make money whether the markets are going up or whether they're going down. And he's proven it with this successful track record over the period of a couple years that we've known them. And do you want to tell them a little bit about, regardless if billions of dollars are leaving crypto or they're just pouring right in, what that average monthly return is that we're seeing? And we'll go into a
Well,
little bit more detail later.
yeah. So when we look at it, I mean, traders on the crypto markets, you can look over a period of time, and you can see what the volume is in the trades, and you can look and you can judge from there what one can achieve over a period of time looking at the markets. And so you could say, right, this particular period of trading, there was 10% growth, or over this particular 2 weeks, there could have been a 20% growth. You might then have a very flat area where then you don't trade in, because there's not much movement or volatility in the market, so it's quite flat, so you wouldn't really be getting that much. And then you get your times where, if you just look at that graph in this picture at the back there, you've got a parabolic trade there almost going at one stage where the market's gone up heavily. And in those instances, then you get enormous
Yeah.
trades that you can make. So it's very much, and you also, what you've got to bear in mind is that you're making on the ups and the downs. So you're shorting and longing. So if you look at where the green candles are going there, that's the market going long, and that one going up there, you can make that. And if you've got a good trade, you can then get it coming down, and you can make money where you're shorting the market. So if you go to the left where it comes down there, so you can pick up, and then you've got another trade going up, and then another short coming down. And one can't get every single one of those. but there are a lot of trades in that one can get, and there are different types of trades. You get some traders that are trading, scalping. They literally every minute or 2 minutes they're putting a trade in. That takes a real skill, a real ability to do that, and I know a few traders who do that, and they're exceptionally good at what they do. But that's really hard work to get into that. So yeah, you've really got to understand the markets and also know how not to lose money. So they put their stop losses in. You run very small stop losses. Trade starts going into the red, get out of that trade and wait for the next one. And then that way you don't start using up all your money. And they are using leverage. So if they're using a 10x leverage, then they put in a small amount out of their pool, and then they leverage 10 times that. So they're borrowing basically against that. And then that gives them, will bring you back to what your original was that you're trading, trading capital
So
that you
with
have.
BridgeGrow and this TradeFi NFT that we're going to be talking about today, we based all of our profit estimates off of a 10 to 20% average monthly return. And that's not just something we just pulled out of anywhere. That is the average monthly return that most of these, and that's kind of being, if I'm going to be honest here, that was on the conservative side. We wanted to make sure that these were means that these were actual averages, regardless of how good the markets are going and how horrible they are. As you can see here, and Malcolm, I love watching him do this. He'll go through and show us what he's learned from trading and just his experiences as well. And he'll show us how to like mark these up and how to watch the different trends and everything. But I mean, on a given, 24, 48 hours, he's shown us you can do a 20% or you can do a 240% increase. And if you get in on some of these really good ones, it's phenomenal. But like he said here, you can still make money when the market's going down. And that's where that experience, knowing what you're doing, staying abreast of the current events, and that's a huge part of crypto and trading that I found out. And mind you, I'm preschool level of trading when it comes to crypto, but I have been learning a lot. I'm trying to absorb as much as I can, but it's very emotional. It's very, very emotional. So what
Mindset.
we've done, mindset, yeah. So what we've done with BridgeGrow is we have created these relationships with these experienced people, and they have been willing to let us harness their expertise and their decades of experience in doing all of this so that we can grow your investment and grow your wealth. So that brings us to the TradeFi NFT. Uh, I can't see who's on now because I've got the presentation up, but I don't know, Malcolm, if you want to keep talking, or if you want to go into a little bit more about the TradeFi NFT and exactly what it is and what we have that we're offering today, and then we can go into a little bit more detail about what it's going to get you.
I can talk. I see Duncan. Yeah, he's obviously
Oh,
there's
is he here?
problems.
Okay,
No,
good.
he's not. Yeah, no, it's just in South Africa. There's problems with power outages for
Oh,
those.
shoot.
No.
Yeah.
So it's often with them, they can't make it because the power's out. And sometimes it's out for 4 hours, so their backup batteries run out of power. So basically, the TradeFi NFT, saying what it is using professional traders to trade for us, and the way we're doing it is that we're going to be selling NFTs, and with those NFTs, we'll have a investment fund that we will give to a trader or traders that will go out and then trade those funds with us. We will be creating the accounts ourselves, the trading accounts on different trading platforms. And then so we can keep the funds secure on those platforms. They're controlled by us, and then the traders will trade on that platform for us, and they'll trade the funds. And the idea is that they trade these funds, and then over a period of time, a portion of funds will be paid back to the investors, the NFT holders, and a portion will go back and compound it into the pool so we can build a larger pool. And the whole idea is that if you start, say, you've got 100,000 in to start trading with, they would trade with 10% of that, and let's say they're running a 10x leverage, so they've got that 10,000 rand that they can put on a dollar, should I say, and times 10, which is 100,000 dollars on that particular trade that they would trade on, and then they would trade with those funds, and let's say they make a $10,000 profit. That $10,000 would go into the pool, and so we build it up until we get to a point where we start paying out the investors, and a portion of that profit for that month would go to the investors, and a portion would be put back into the pool. Now, if you imagine that pool's getting bigger and bigger, and eventually it gets to $300,000 or $400,000, that means that they've got $30,000, that 10% that they're using to trade with, and then with their 10x leverage. So that's why it's important that we build we compound as much funds as we can into the pool. And in this particular NFT that we're doing now, we'll show you the split. We're going to be splitting it up, and we're going to be starting quite early so people can see some returns quite early on. We'll be looking at different mechanisms and different products down the line where we will increase that. And the traders will have trading plans that they will work with. They study the markets and they have a specific trading plan. Each trader has their own trading plans, how they like working. They'll look at where resistance points and support points are, and they'll look at how and when they go into a trade and when they leave a trade. And that's why it's so important that we use professionals, because one really needs to know what you're doing. So they're very strategic in their planning. I've been discussing with the trader that's starting on this particular one in the beginning, and discussing his trading plans and that, and they're quite amazing. And then they'll also have very strict stop losses. So the idea is that you get out of a trade when it starts going into the red, and then wait for the next one. And that's where these guys have the patience and the discipline to be able to do that. So maybe if we could just go on to the next slide,
Yeah.
Jebs, I think, and then we can. Yeah, so let's
talk
break it
numbers.
down. Okay, so we're going to have 2,000 NFTs that we're going to be putting out there. And I think the reason why Air said earlier that one doesn't have to run out and go and put money aside unless you want to buy a huge amount of them. They're only at $50 an NFT. And we did this for a very specific reason. We want everybody to be able to take part in this. We didn't want to go in and say, you have to buy $1,000 NFT or a huge amount, and that excludes a lot of people. And I think also when you start getting people in countries that maybe aren't as affluent as, say, in the United States or in Europe, where $50, I know in South Africa, where I've left since then, I'm living in Europe now, but $50 goes a hell of a long way in South Africa. That's 1,000 Rand in South Africa. And you can do a lot with 1,000 Rand. So we wanted to be able to give everybody a chance to get in. But on the same token, you can buy, there's no limit to the amount of tokens NFTs you can buy. So if you want to buy all 2,000, well, some of them have been sold already, but you can buy as many as you want. So you're not limited. So if you want to put a lot in, you can put a lot in. But if you don't have the means to put a lot in, you can also start with a little. And I think that was quite important for us to make it available to everybody.
Exactly. Yep. We wanted to make sure it was a good price point, reasonable. So you kind of went into this a little bit already, but how this is going to work of raising the pool, building that foundation, and so on. So we're raising the money. We're telling everybody about it now. We're gathering together that $100,000. And then over the course of, we have a graduated payout, like profit versus reinvestment, that's on the next slide here that we'll go over in a little bit more detail. But for the first at least 60 days, we're not going to be distributing any reward payments or profits. And that's because we want to build this solid foundation. We want to really give the traders an opportunity to grow that pool. That way, when it comes time to do like profit versus reinvestment, we're going to take portions of that out and we're going to reward the investors with that there's a nice, good, solid pool for that. And then we're going to start initiating reward payments, and they're going to be increasing as they go. So here is an example of the types of returns and the schedule that we've got it. And this is all up on our website. So if you haven't had a chance, go up to BridgeDeFi.com and click on BridgeGrow. And there's a very good explanation, kind of a deck all about it. But this is outlaid pretty well, where month 1 and 2, that's that building of the foundation. So we're just going to reinvest 100% of that. Nobody's going to get paid out for at least the first 60 days. Then, starting in month 3, we're going to do a 90% reinvestment. So, all the profits that are made through the trading, we're going to reinvest 90% of those, but 10% is going to start being paid out to the NFT holders. And this is just to show good faith, like, hey, we're making really good money. We plan to have monthly profit statements. So, that's going to go out to everybody that has them. We'll probably post them on the website, or we'll put them in the channels or something like that. So, you can see what you're making, what that reinvestment percentage is, and then you'll get a 10% for that. And then for months 4, 5, and 6, we're going to gradually dial that up. So reinvestment will be 80%, 70%, 60%. You'll see 10 grow to 20, grow to 30, grow to 40. And then for months 7 through 36, and we have kind of a variable exit strategies here that Malcolm can kind of go into a little more detail later. But months 7 through 36, we're going to reinvest half of whatever the profit is, and you will get, as an NFT holder, the payout percentage will be 50% of that.
Can I just one thing just to make sure everybody clearly understands it? The 50% that's paid back to the NFT holders is 50% of the profit of that month, not of the profits of the whole. It's not 50% of all the profits made. So
Right.
just to make sure everybody understands. So in the third month, if it makes the profit that's made, only 10% will be paid of the profit from that third month. In the fourth month, it will be 20% of the profit made in that fourth month will be paid back. So, it's very important, because the amazing thing is, if you actually looked at the graphs, the longer money is allowed to compound, and we all know about the effects of compounding, the better at the end of the day you do. But we want to make this so that there are also people who have cash flow needs and that, and we'll be looking at different products with different returns down the line. But I think this one gives a nice balance where people are drawing returns and are getting the compound effect as well.
Yep. And you mentioned the numbers. So let's take a look at the numbers. If you go onto our website, you'll see the different profit ranges. We've got them out for 10, 15, and 20%, because that is kind of the average range. And then we've got a variable one on there too that give you an idea of what the profit generation is going to be from the trading. But this one we chose because it's smack dab in the middle at a 15%. Do you want to kind of walk people through what they're looking at here?
Yeah. So this one is as we said, that this is based on an average of 15%. But I think what people must realize, and I do want to, and that's why you did mention the variable one. The one thing with trading is that there are months that maybe you might do 1 or 2%, but then you might hit a month where you'll do 30% or 40%. It's all I'm trying to say is that it's variable. The markets are not constant. So the 15%, if you looked over a 3-year period, is, if we averaged it out to 15%, this is roughly what you would get. So I think it gives a good indication of that. And so what we've got here is we're showing what the pool earnings would be and what the individual earnings would be. So if you look at, in the first year, the individual NFT payouts from profits on 15%, you're basically getting $42. So you're almost getting your return back on that 15% of what you spent. But then you've also got to bear in mind, in that first year, the first 2 months there was no profits paid out. And then the next 6 months, the next 6 months, there was a sliding scale of 10, 20. So that also affects it, but that helps you in the long run. And then
Right.
your NFT value at the end of the day, and that is on the right-hand side there, is 132%. Now, you can't draw at that stage. That is what's sitting in the pool and the value of the NFT, because everything works in a percentage. So if we were to stop at the end of the year and we were to pay out, each NFT would have a value of $131 that's sitting in the pool, and that would be paid out to them. And so your total that you would have got is, you would have earned $42 through the year, and then plus another, 90, not 130, $90, which is the amount that would be in the pool. So you would have earned at the end of the first year $131. So you've almost tripled your value that you put in at the end of the day. And then the second year, obviously, as it goes on, you've got this compounding effect. And there's a guy called Michael Cordan, and he always talks about, he's called Mr. 10X. And he always says that what you should do when you're trying to do any investment is 10X your money. So basically, the idea would be if you had $1,000 and you 10X that $1,000 each month, you did over 10 months, you would eventually have $1,000,000. It's 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 8, 16, whatever it is, and it goes on from there, however the 10x works. So in this instance, that's why you get this, the graph, if you look at it, goes up quite substantially over the years. And in your second year, you're looking at $133 would have been physically paid out to you into your wallet, and that gets done through our distribution contract. We built our own distribution contract where we put the funds in, it looks for the wallet, and it distributes the funds, and those funds will be paid out in BUSD. So your cumulative amount that you would have earned paid out to you at the end of 2 years would be $175. And then what's sitting in the trading pool is the $214 for that year. And then you've got your total value there. So you can work out from these, and then at the end of the day, it shows you what your percentages are. Now, obviously, this is trading. Wars can happen and all sorts of things. So things might change, and it might push the price through the roof, or it could move it the other way. But again, the nice thing about trading is that you are trading on
Ups and downs.
the ups and downs, and we are paying out in BUSD. So, obviously, if we're paying out in a volatile coin, something like a Bitcoin, yes, you might do very well as it goes up, but then you also could lose if it went down, and we don't want to run that risk for people. So that just gives you an indication of how that works.
Yes. And if you want a little bit more time, you want to sit here and stare at these and like crunch your own numbers and stuff, you can find that once again. Go to bridgedefi.com, click on BridgeGrow, and we've got these all up there under right now for the TradeFi NFT. But I just want to draw your little attention here that crypto is so fast paced and the attention span is very small. In the real world, people are used to like taking $50 of their check or more, it goes away and they don't see it for 40 years, right? We put it into a 401k, we put it into some IRA, and we don't see it for 40 years. And we just hope that someday when we retire and we're old and wrinkly and hopefully still have our wits about us, that there is a nice big little stockpile of money for us. And so we want to try to marry that and find somewhere in the middle, a little bit like towards the more crypto short attention span side, but basically telling people that if you got $50, which for most of us is like a tank of gas, some of us it's a little bit more, and wherever that is and wherever that plays a point in your life and your world. But if you've got that $50 that you can kind of sacrifice or you can invest in this right now, give us 3 years and we're going to take that $50 and we're going to help you turn it into 1,000. And I don't know anywhere else right now where people are doing this and with a pretty consistent low risk opportunity with that. I mean, a 2,000% return on investment is just unheard of. Just wanted to lay that out there because I just think that's absolutely incredible. And this is what I'm telling all my friends and family. They're like, no way. And I'm like, okay, come here, let's sit down. I'll crunch the numbers with you. So let's talk about the payout split, Malcolm.
Yeah. So with the traders, the way we're working on this particular one is that let's start first with we have a management fee of 5% that we're charging for setting this up, and obviously our profits in that. And just to save to the foundation holders of that 5%, we will be they will be getting 12% of the revenue that we get from that. So there is a benefit to foundation holders in that we're now starting to generate revenue through this. And then the trader himself, or the professional traders that we use to trade, they earn 30% of the profits that are generated from the trading, and then 65% goes back to the NFT holders. So yeah, that's how the split.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty substantial amount. So we're really hoping to see see some waves being made here because we're not trying to get rich here at Bridge DeFi. It's our 5% pretty much across the board, but we really want to do this and we want to deliver on that promise that we want to offer platforms that are life-changing for so many people. And the numbers that we showed up here, these numbers are after that. Like this is the 65%. This is the estimates that you can kind of expect that we're talking about here. Okay, so this is the ROI table showing it from month to month, and they are based on that 15% trading profit per month. I know this is kind of tiny, especially if you're on a phone screen, but Malcolm's got a wonderful big giant Mac with like a television-sized screen. So I'll try my best to kind of follow along, but if you want to, do you want to just highlight a couple different things on here and tell us what we're looking at?
Yeah, so I think to have a just run through this. Basically, this is the 3 years that we'll be running through this. In the first one, I think that's important to note is the dollar return you're going to be getting per NFT, and this is based on 15%. So basically, in month 12, you'd be getting $6 a month, and then you'd be getting a return of you would have received over the year, you would have received $41. And then you would have in the pool, there would be $96 sitting in the pool, and that should tie up the other one, and that's total value of 138 in your NFT. And the one thing I did want to mention as well is that these NFTs are transferable. So if you wanted to get out, and you could sell this NFT to somebody else, and you could then sell it at a profit because they would know what their return would be at the end of the year, end of the 3 years. So you can always trade it for a higher value if you wanted to get money out. And then also to say that at the end of month 12, 24, well, definitely 36, because that's when the contract will end. If you do want to get out, we'll pay you out. It doesn't make a difference to anybody else or to yourself. You'll get your percentage value that's in the pool, and then we would buy that NFT back from you, or you could sell it on to somebody else at whatever value you wanted to, you choose to sell it for. And you'd be able to do that in month 12, 24, and then month 36, everybody would be paid out what's left in the pool, their percentage. Each NFT would get its the percentage share. And if you look at that, yeah, sorry.
Can you go in a little bit more detail? So anytime during the period, they're welcome to trade that NFT and sell that on their own, like on an OpenSea or something like that. Is that
Yeah,
what you're
they
saying?
can
But
send it
then,
they can send it wherever they want, because the funds will always just be sent to wherever that NFT is on the
right,
blockchain.
exactly, very
So
good.
they can send it
But
to who they
then,
want. But if we want for us to buy it back, we will do it at months 12 and 24.
perfect, very good.
Okay.
Okay, yep, keep going.
And then it
I
just
just wanted
goes
to
through.
clarify that.
If you just keep on going through, it'll show you. So I think on your next slide, maybe we just pop through there quickly.
No, I think that just shows
Yeah, okay. So
that
that
how
I
the
just wanted to show
NFTs
that
are
there.
ROIing.
So if
Yep,
you look at month 13 and 14, your ROI is at month 13 and 14, you would have got your money back of your $50. So that's where we think looking at what is being achieved, that should be achievable around about that time, that you've got your money back for your NFT. But don't forget that you've actually made more, because you've got in the pool, there's a value that's sitting there that will be paid out at either if you sell your NFT to somebody else, or you take up the option of drawing it out, selling your NFT back to us at month 12.
so just to reiterate what he's saying is, if you're looking at this table here, this column is what each NFT is going to get out monthly. That's the estimates here for the payouts. So if you have one NFT, a $50 investment, you can, by the second year, you're getting $7 to $15 a month on that one $50 NFT. If you put in $5,000, put a zero on the back of this. And as you can see, the pool share, that NFT is still growing. And that amount that's in the pool, when you get down to the end, when you're exiting here, that amount we're going to be splitting or giving back too. It's just dependent upon when you're going to exit. So if you want to keep that $50 in, it's going to be almost worth double in the first year. It's going to be worth 5 times here, and then that's where you see that 10 times by the time if you leave it in for the 3 years. So really keep that in mind is yes, we're giving you profits. We're giving you monthly payouts so that you know like this is great. This is your investment. This is what you're getting. But just keep in mind you've got your own little savings account right here with BridgeDeFi. And when we end up finishing and finalizing this, you're going to get a nice little chunk payout as well.
Yeah, very much so. So then if you just pop back to the one before, I just wanted to.
Oh, looking over these?
Yeah. And then if you just go through, you can see the graph on the right-hand side. You'll see those graphs as showing your returns, and you can see how fast it starts going up. Now, if you left this in for 4 or 5 years, that graph would get even steeper.
Oh,
But
ridiculous.
we want to cut it off at some time. So you can see how it exponentially grows, and that very first graph is showing your returns. Yeah, so I think that pretty much covers most of the figures.
Yep. Okay, so how do you get your NFT? You can pick up your TradeFi NFT. It is launching today on BridgeDeFi.com. So when you go onto BridgeDeFi.com and you go through BridgeGrow, there's a little button right next to the TradeFi NFT because we're talking about all of it and what all the benefits are. If you click on the little green and blue click here button, it will take you to the minting page and you will be able to pick up as many as you want at the $50 per NFT price up to a total amount of 2,000, which I think we've sold a couple already. And this weekend, I've got family members that are wanting to buy a big old chunk of them. So if you want to get in and you want to get on this round now, I suggest tell your friends, move some money around, get your NFT, and we're going to get to trading. It's going to be wonderful.
And the reason why there have been a few sold is because with everything that we do, so for those of you who aren't Foundation NFT members, if you want to be able to get early access to anything or know what's happening before what's going on, also we've been gaining advice from our Foundation members. It's been open to them, so that's why there are a few NFTs sold at this stage. But yeah, it's a great way of getting early access to things as being a Foundation member.
Yep,
to
exactly.
become a Foundation member, you need to own a Foundation NFT.
That's right. And this is just one of the many amazing sneak peeks and early access that we give those Foundation members just as a thank you and a give back. So if you want to connect with us, we do have a link tree, and this has all the different links that are BridgeDeFi. That's why I included this here. So you can scan that, and then it will take you, there's a link directly to the TradeFi NFT. So if you have a friend that would rather do it that way. And then it's also links to all of our different social media pages, our different communities throughout Telegram, Discord, any of that kind of stuff, because we want to connect with you. And we know that if you're not present today and you cannot ask us your questions yourself, if you've got questions, let us know. And if you prefer Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Telegram, whatever it is, we are there. So fire away. So I'm going to kind of open up the floor now. What questions do you guys have? Are you excited? Do you have any comments?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds excellent. I mean, I really like the way you've got it set up to where the NFT is actually growing in value versus just staying at that $50 level. So it's kind of a two-part. You're getting paid out, and your principal balance is growing. So I like that. That's brilliant on that end. But my question is if I mean, I do some trading and do some options trading, and I mean, I do a stop loss and I also do a sell limit order on that end. Is there a cap? I mean, are your traders, are they looking for once they invest and they reach a 20% profit, it automatically sells, or is it uncapped? Or I mean, obviously the stop loss is set in place, but what kind of profit are they looking at? Or is it uncapped on each trade?
Malcolm can speak to this a little bit better if he hasn't muted himself.
I just muted myself and I was chatting away there till you just as you finished. I'm known for this, by the way, for you guys. And it's my old age, I think, that causes me to do it. But yeah, what we do is we don't put a cap on. There's obviously a stop loss limit that they have, and the guys use very small stops. But it depends on the trading strategy of the particular trader that we're using. Each trader has their own strategies that they work with. So you could have a situation where you're in a trade, and say the trade runs up and you're running a 10x leverage on it. So the trade's at 3%. So that's a 30% gain that you've made. What you could do is you move your stop loss to 20% or 25%. And then you let the trade ride up higher, and then you move your stop loss up higher again. So in that instance, you're always you're always going to get the benefit of that high trade. So you don't wait for the trade to come back down again. Also, what some of the traders do is that they will run their stop loss up higher, so that they basically move, like I've just explained. And then what they'll do is they'll add to that trade, because that trade could go parabolic. And so they would move it up until such point as they see, right, there's a break in structure. And then so it hits a resistance level. And then they say, right, it's hitting this resistance level. Let's get out of the trade at that point, and they'll get out. But they might wait to that point and rather move their stop up. So it depends on this trading strategy that that particular trader uses. And I think most good traders have a trading strategy that they've worked out and planned for those particular use cases.
Okay, good. Sounds great. So last question. You said in order to mint these, I use MetaMask. Go into MetaMask, go to my browser, type in BridgeDeFi.com and go in, and then go down to click on BridgeGrow. But it's asking me to log in at the top right hand corner. It's not really giving me any type of like you connect your DApp, like connecting to a DApp or anything like that.
Yeah. Do you want to go on to things, Zebs, or do you want me to share? Yeah, you go into it.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So if you go here, BridgeDeFi. Come on, baby. Man.
Yeah, sometimes it's slow when you're
Am I
running.
load shedding? What is going on? Oh, is it because of the Telegram?
It's because of Telegram running, because you're also sharing it. It slows the machine down. I find that a lot when I'm doing Zoom calls and things. Or if you want, okay, there we go.
It's just taking its sweet time.
Under
Come
products.
on, baby. Come on. There you go. Okay, so if you come here to BridgeGrow, oh, maybe. I'm sorry. I feel like I should be singing the Jeopardy song. Air fryer? Air fryer. Okay.
Okay.
So this talks about it, and then right here where it says introducing the TradeFi NFT, that's that click here that I was talking about. If you click on that, it'll take you to the mint page, and then you should just be able to connect your wallet from here, and then it will allow you to mint as many as you want. So right here, is this where you're going? Shant.
Okay, I haven't got to that point yet.
Okay.
I'm on my phone, so I'm waiting
very good.
I'm waiting to go through and watch you do that, and then I'll back out of the conversation. Then I'll go in and take a look at from there. I just wanted to kind of see what it looked like, because I was getting at a roadblock there. So, but
perfect.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's easy enough.
If you come here, connect your wallet, and you'll be able to mint, because this will turn into a mint button. You can put in as many as you want.
Quick question: are you on an iPhone or are you on an Android?
iPhone.
Okay. We're having a little bit of an issue with an iPhone, that every now and then it reloads, and that if you scroll down the section where Zeb's is scrolling now, don't scroll. If you can read it on a PC, but the moment it scrolls down, the iPhone is crashing. We don't know why.
We've been working with development.
But if you just scroll up a little bit, and don't do any more scrolling on the left side, and just get to where it says Mint NFT, then you should be fine.
Gotcha. Appreciate it.
Yeah, just go connect wallet there, and then it should allow you to do it. Or else, if you can get it onto an Android or on a desktop, works on a Mac, it works on everything else. We just it's just a bit of a problem on the iPhone that we're having at the moment.
And we've been working with so many different developers to try and figure out what it is. Chris has a theory that there's some little comma somewhere that is like thwarting us all. Some Apple prank or whatever, but yeah, but it works great on a PC. So if you want to take a look at it and then just go to it to Mint if you've got your MetaMask on your phone or whatever, you can do it that way.
But if you just click here and just don't scroll down on the left, it should
Mm-hmm.
work fine.
Should work. Yeah, because this comes up first on the phone. All right, awesome. Thanks, Shannon. Good questions. Anybody else? What questions do you have? None?
Everybody's sold, Zebs. You did a great
They're
job.
so, yes, I am too. I was telling my mom, my father-in-law, like a couple of my girlfriends, I was just out of town for the last couple of weeks visiting people out west, and I was telling them all about this. I'm like, hey, this is great. So everybody's moving money around. I'm guessing that's why the quiet is, because they're like checking their bank and what kind of dust do I have? And I love it. Love it, love it. So yeah, good stuff. Tell your friends. We are going to save this recording, so we'll post it up in the channels and pin it. You can share it with your buddies, and then if anybody has any questions, you know how to find us.
Yeah, we've got a few more minted now. It's nice to see.
Yeah, wonderful. I want to do that. Okay. Very good. Well, I am going to go ahead and stop the recording, but if you guys want to keep chatting, please feel free.